See, like that, there are so many stories which some of and all. Then I'll give some Baba stories. See, things happened, I want to tell you. I told you in 62, we had darshan at Baba. And 58, 61, about 3 or 4, I don't remember the years. When we had Baba's permission for darshan, we were in Baba's presence with my mother. Every darshan was with family. Mother, there will be Leela and my grandchildren, and sometimes my sister. Yes, we are in Baba's presence, then Neeraj is there. Baba inquires, did he sleep well? First inquire, not that he doesn't know. Taken rest, ate, oh God. He wants to flatter our ego. He says, it's all Baba's all. Then he comes down and says, like, I tell them something. He asked, what is spirituality? I can never ever think of a question from a master. What is spiritual? I mean, what else, what little I know is, be a good person. What else can I think? It is such a profound question. And he says, no. He shows her and says, she is my foil. As I am unsteady, she is steady. Baba said, remember, you are a good foil, because he arranged our wedding in heaven.
Foil?
And he says, he defines it. Spiritually, I quote now, poise, perfect poise. Make the best of every situation. He who upsets no one is a quote you may remember, is a good man. He who is upset by no one is a God man. So don't lose your cool. That is the mantra he gives. Like that, after this, when we are there, he tells a story about, I won't elaborate because I have to share from you.
That's why I'm telling you.
I will cut short, I'm very sorry. But no, I just tell you very little, very little. When he tells you a story about my grandfather, how he has been called by Baba a karma yogin. Karma yogin means one who does his work. That is why Baba had mentioned to Adi Senior in the list of his departed ones that Sampath Iyengar is a circle member at Madras. And 1939, I'll just finish with this and no more. No, the reason is she is anxious for us to be fed by you all. Where's the chance for me in a lifetime? I just finished with this. And 1939, during the war, Baba said, during the war, 2 more of my circle will pass on before the end of the war. One of them may be a man and a woman, or both may be men. That was 39. My grandfather passed on in 43. And Adi reminded me, do you remember a circle member which Baba has mentioned against your grandfather's name? And you know who is the other one? I said, I don't know. 1944, Baba's first disciple, Chanji, Dada Chanji, he passed away. He had a desire to breathe his last in Kashmir, I believe. So Baba sent some work for him at Kashmir where he breathed his last. So before the end of the war, 2 of his circle members passed on. And these were related to us later. I didn't know all that. I didn't know anything about till I read Lord Mayor. And on my reading of Lord Mayor in the mid-90s. So this is about our family. How today we are with every one of you who is Baba lover and Baba family for me. Baba has made it happen today for me to meet so many of my Baba family. And as Neeraj said, instead of calling them Baba lovers, put an added thing, Baba family of lovers that unites every one of us so much. And if you are kind enough to
So we want to
Do
know how
what-
you
to
came
feed
know
us
Baba.
with anything,
That's
because
Do you
in
have-
many cases Baba's approach is so different that this is not amazing, but we are starving.
No, we want to know your experience
No,
about
no,
How
do-
Baba's-
Do you have any special story that other than what he said, of your own?
Yeah, mine also here.
No, if I go on like
There are so many,
there's no
you know,
time, there's no
Baba's
time.
stories never ends.
Ah,
Never ends. Because
See.
I was a staunch follower of Sai Baba,
first,
Shirdi. Baba calls him grandfather. He is one of the 5 masters. You know the 5 masters?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All the 5.
I know.
He was
They know.
Muslim and
They know.
Hindu, or,
Sai Baba,
yeah, but I mean, he was
Yeah.
Muslim and Hindu together,
Yeah.
wasn't he? I mean, I've been to Shirdi.
Yeah,
Shirdi,
The
Oh.
silver and
Yeah.
the
almost
shoes off.
similar to Baba, his life history,
Yeah.
if you read.
and Baba has
Similar
said,
to Baba, if you have faith,
yeah,
you will believe him. Even now, he helps us, just like Baba.
and Baba's advice has been,
That is. And
Don't-
he has brought me to this family, 57 years back, to this family. The same.
God's-
That family has tradition has passed on to Baba. From Sai Baba, it has come to Meher
Yeah.
Baba.
and I remember Baba's advice to, I mean, not to us, but what Irich has told me and what Eric and Heather have told me, which I remember, when you come to Mehrabad, you leave from Mehrabad, take me with you, that we have heard. But during your visit your grandpa at Shirdi.
He always says
Yeah.
that.
Visit
Go
your,
to Shirdi.
I mean, he
Visit
gives
your
us such
grandpa
living.
and then-
Our grandpa is Shirdi Sai Baba. Visit your grandpa, but don't go away from there. You can, because all the 5 masters are in Baba. You can visit Shirdi if you like, but come here, visit Shirdi, come here, take leave of me and go. That is so wonderful. It works every second in our life. So when we are at that place, we have a pilgrimage, imbibe Baba, come back, worship our master, and
And one
then
thing we have experienced for so many years, anything in the house, something
good
from
order.
the ordinary, good or bad,
I mean,
some Baba message will come,
Yeah.
something, either some article or
a
some
phone call.
letter or a phone call or something. This has been going on for 57 years.
yeah, and just one more minute, 1 minute for me.
Then you won't
No,
stop.
no. See, because they are so intertwining. No, we were at Lafayette till 99. One day our house is erased in a cul-de-sac. My daughter was carrying material to be put for recycling. And the vehicle is at the high level, and she had already loaded one, and she was loading the second. I don't know how, I mean, she's an experienced driver, no problem. The car slipped, rolled down the slope, and stopped hitting a tree in our opposite. Our neighbors are wonderful neighbors, hit the tree and stopped. She was dragged all along.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, there was no outside her scratches or something. She was dragged along as she's walking in the door. Now, my son-in-law was not in station. I mean, it was a joy to every one of us. No doubt we didn't think of Baba. It's a mistake. We have a phone call from Pam and Danny that day. How you are in the picture, I want to tell you. We had a phone call from Pam and Danny that day in Lafayette when my daughter was dragged along. I mean, the vehicle in the front was a little damaged and all that. Baba saved her life, and you gave us what is called hopes, because we have Baba lover, family lover, guarding every one of us.
No,
And today I want to tell you because it is relating to Pamantal. As she says, we are very happy. We get, it may be anything. Or say, for example, I will only say Pamantal because we exchange plenty of snail mail. Letters important, email, no doubt you can see it, no, snail mail.
Yeah.
We are so happy, we get a letter, who is Pamantal? We get a CD from them, you get a Baba calendar from them. When in India it happens. So, it just shows that we are Baba family. Mostly I am connected with them, though I never saw them like this. He takes care, that's why you remember Baba said, the powerhouse will never fail, provided you take care of your connection with it. Period. That I want. I got so little bursting that I won't talk.
now, what about
Anyway, I mean, don't. So please. Left to them.
Yeah.
Because the order now of those who are going to feast us is left to Baba. So, I don't know who will feed us first. I mean, anything. See, the main reason we are both very concerned is this. We have been following Baba literature. How many people came to Baba during the 60s because of the flower power. The hard way, they have not seen Baba. They are more, when we see them, devoted to Baba. But in my case, you see, it was, I am jealous that I did not get a couple of kicks and in my younger age when I met Baba. Because of my grandfather, it was a smooth sailing. And he made it so what I can say, more gradual for me. No going back, but after that, plenty of what I say, many disappointment and everything strengthened my faith in Baba like anything. But I am jealous of those who come to Baba the hard way. No doubt I had kicks from Baba. He says, yeah, tell me.
I think would be a nice thing if one person at a time would sit where Lauren's sitting, that we could call it the hot seat, and they could each tell their Baba stories.
yeah?
Well, if you want.
If you
but
like.
Voluntary, you know.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Have to go.
Or-
that could be
You want
more
the video.
complicated than
Anything
it
is,
I'm just saying that because he's in the
Baba's
camera.
Prasad.
Right.
Okay, well,
Please,
I'll try to give a relatively brief version of my
anything.
how I came to Baba.
Yeah.
All right.
Take. I
That's
mean,
what,
All right. So I was a young man in my late teens, early 20s, and during that time, prior to that, I had become disenchanted with religion, and thought that it was all a hoax and filled with hucksters and folks out for money. So I'd sworn off religion and God with it. But for some reason, I think mostly because I'd been reading some novels and literature, that sort of thing, not necessarily religious, but that had some religious themes in it, I began to become interested again in finding out more about God. So I read some Christian stuff on St. Francis and various things, and also Hindu stuff, Ramana Maharishi, and different Buddhist literature, and so I became interested again. Ways it so happened I was attending college in St. Petersburg, and I was walking through the stacks one day and found a book with the unassuming title Discourses, and I thought that was a good straightforward title for a book, and picked it up, and I remember picking up the book and checking it out and walking around the side of the building and opening up the book and seeing the picture of Baba, reading a couple pages and realizing this is somebody who knows a heck of a lot more than I do about everything, and that really started the ball rolling. So
His magic works for you,
yeah,
like
so,
everyone else.
right. So I had that book for about a year. I checked out 3 different versions of the discourses of 3 different volumes over the course of about a year, shared them with a friend of mine named John. And towards the end of that year, John was at a party and saw a little Baba card, recognized Baba's picture, asked the host, "Who's this?" He wasn't a Baba lover, but said, "Oh, that's Meher Baba. I got this card from this woman. Her number's on the back here." He called the number. We found out there were some meetings in town. We went to our first Baba meeting. And before this time, though we had both read the discourses, 10 times over the course of this year, we hadn't quite caught on that Baba said he was the avatar. But at this meeting, we were sitting there talking about Baba. And we kind of go to this meeting thinking it's a philosophy group or something like that we're going to talk about Hindu philosophy or this philosopher, and that's not what it was at all. And so,
Yeah.
but very pleasant. We met these 3 ladies there. This was in St. Petersburg at Laura's house. Laura and Christina and Summer Turner were there, and they had weekly meetings, but basically consisted of the 3 of them there who were living at the house. But John and I showed up at their doorstep. They graciously invited us in, cooked up some chai, showed us, had a little talk with us and said, "Well, he says he's God." And both of us were sort of like, that's a bombshell to drop in any living room. But it made sense because both of us had come to the conclusion that, the discourses explain reality in a way that, only God could explain reality as far as we were concerned. So that night, at the end of the meeting, Laura had remembered that she had come back from India not too long before this meeting, and she had a couple little stones from Seclusion Hill. And so she gave one to me and one to John, and we went home that night. And she also
watched Oprah
that evening we watched Oprah Vardagar. And during the course of watching Oprah Vardagar, at the beginning of seeing, have you seen that movie? It's the Pete Towns. It's the song where the Master's Prayer is put to like a little 10-minute movie of Baba. And by the time at the beginning of the movie, we're watching it, and it's he's kind of a funny-looking man walking. And 8 minutes later, or however long the song is, the room is pulsing. It's boom, 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 with energy or love, I would say. So that was impressive, but still, I wasn't, completely on board, I guess. So anyway, she gave us these 2 stones, sent me home with a book called Mastery of Consciousness, which has a short biography of Baba in the front, just a 5 or 10 page biography. I went home that night, read that biography, said, "Wow, that's impressive." Went to the bathroom to brush my teeth and go to sleep, and I happened to have, when I'm brushing my teeth, I realize the stone's still in my pocket. I pull it out, set it up on the counter, and recognize that stone as being the same stone that I had as a little boy. I just had this like pet rock, practically, a little stone that I played with and lost track of somewhere from the time when I was, 8 or whenever I lost track of this stone until 22 at Laura's house, and she's picked up this stone in India. And I recognize it as, wait a minute. And the most important thing that I really missed in the story is just before walking to brush my teeth, I prayed earnestly, probably for the first time perhaps in my life, and said, God, if you're Baba, or Baba, if you're God, you can let me know. And 2 minutes later, she let me know.
Each aspect of Baba's love for individual is so enthralling for us. I know. Thanks for your kindness.
Certainly. No problem. My pleasure.
Bye.
All right, I'm off the hot seat.
Next.
Now, we don't really have to follow that, but we're welcome to if anyone wants to.
Tom, you want to go ahead?
That's wonderful.
And the stone was
How-
gone the next morning. He put it next to his bed
Oh,
very
my.
carefully. It was gone.
What? Like that?
Somebody go in the hot seat. Feel free.
You're off the hook, Tom. So this is a story about Muhammad, the fifth plain saint.
If
And
you, excuse me, if you
yeah.
get louder, little
Okay.
louder,
Yeah.
because
No,
Okay.
no, I like.
you can hear.
No, I can, but I'm
Is this
like
the
sharing.
must you're talking about?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a story about Muhammad the Must. So when I was in India in and this is 1974, beginning of 75, I was always kind of drawn to him. And I had an experience where one time I was kind of testing who he was and
Who Baba was or
who
who
Muhammad was. And
Must.
so I just kind of internally, asked the question about his advancement on the spiritual plane. And then just then, this amazing flock of wild birds, large flock, they were like a geese-like bird, flew overhead, and he came out of the building where he was at the same time and looked up at them at the same time that I was looking up at them, So I felt, okay, well maybe it is possible to make a connection with someone like this. And then years later, I was in Massachusetts, and I had, previous to moving to Massachusetts, I had gotten involved in what turned out to be a bad business situation. And I had to legally fight this guy. After leaving Maine, I was still fighting him in Massachusetts. And one day, I had to go to court, and it was just an arbitration to just see how things might be. And I was kind of checking in, and I was trying to think my highest thoughts and everything, and I just happened to come across his picture, and as I looked at his picture, it energized. So I felt, okay, he's on the other end of the phone. So I said, all right, Muhammad, I don't ask Baba for help, but in this case, I think I really do need some help. And this is a bad situation. And I said, you're in the world, so I might as well ask you. And you're a fifth plain saint, so whatever. So I went to court that day, and my lawyer had gone and checked out because they were taking forever calling us, and we should have been like first in line. It was a good law firm, and they're connected and everything. And so so she went to check on it to see what was happening. She came back in and she was ashen, and she basically said, we have the hanging judge, and you just don't know with this guy, like which side of the bed he's going to get out of that day and how he's going to be. So she was pretty concerned because it's a pretty tricky situation that I was in. And so then, but I still hadn't lost hope. And so then shortly after that, a clerk of the courts came in, and he said, I don't know how this happened, but somehow your file got misplaced. And it was on the top of the stack, but somehow it's found its way into the middle of the stack. And he was embarrassed and everything, and I was like, well, I think I know how that happened. and then he said, but look, don't worry about it, we're not going to hold you up anymore, we're going to find you a new courtroom and a new judge. And so the judge that we ended up with was Judge Temple, and the name of the law firm was Divine Willamette. And the building that I was involved in buying was called the 10 Commandments, because it was a 10-unit building, and every commandment in that building had been broken. So, but anyways, that day, like, the arbitration went much better. I mean, it wasn't totally over, but like it went from settling, me having to owe somebody $450,000, which was like more than all the money I had, to maybe only owing $70,000. But in the end, I walked away just owing my deposit, and ways down the road. But that's kind of an interesting story about Muhammad.
It's so different. This is so thrilling to know, what different approach everyone has. Because the reason, as Virat said, Baba makes the connection. We listen to how it happened. And one more enlightenment for us, how Baba has got the approach. And the more we know, I mean, I'm talking to myself, the more I know, the more I feel I am honored to be with every one of you who are wonderful Baba. That's what. It's so wonderful.
Thank you, Mama.
This was by chance when we led our brother here. Then from Andhra, he put me in Andhra with my grandfather at that time, and as you say, Rajmandri and also Guntur. That is where the Meher Gazette, because the Meher Gazette in those days had contributions from all over Europe. It was not so much in USA at that time, but all over Europe, because the reason was when it was the Meher Gazette was transferred for publication to Bangalore. Our grandfather, along with so many things he has taught us, we proofread the issues of Meher Gazette. He taught us how to do proofreading, and that was the period of 33 through 38, when 4 special birthday issues were given. 34 was a special birthday issue at Madras. 40th birthday, Baba desired to be spent. Second visit to Madras was 34. So that was the special birthday message. Because I remember we used to go to the presses, those days were blocks for printing. It was all Leela type at those days. We used to be in the press, involve ourselves, and the later issues, there was another birthday at Nasi. So, involved proofreading is not important. Digestive Baba love is important. So it entered our blood to know what is on. And as we read about what we have as the members of the Meher League, because Baba asked about, if I can remember properly, I don't individually, I can't, about 50 or 60 of Baba's family, the old flock of Baba's family. I mean, it's all no cost of that, it is members of Baba's brotherhood as such. They enroll themselves and we check their name, their address and all that. It is all, I mean, everything is in the printed Meher Gazette. So it means we are Baba lovers not only because of Baba's grace for us, because Baba's grace is for so many lovers even from those days, many of whom I would never have met. But I have read about them. When I read about Baba's life, I will read about them. So many of, but my mother was such a person, fanatic, she met every one of the disciples at Bangalore. Elizabeth, Tolstoy, Leela Machiavelli, some of them I remember because we are permitted to have darshan of Baba had his residences. Bangalore had 2 places, one was the ashram and the other one was the residence of Baba and the mandali. We were permitted because of my grandfather, we never meet Baba unless he says okay. Even if we never try, if we try we won't get it. So when we are there, he introduces us. That is how it happened when the mandali visited. My grandfather purchased a house at Bangalore for the printing of the Gazette. It also happened that our master visited and stayed at Bangalore 10 days in different occasions at that Bangalore residence which is his.
Your grandfather was a judge?
So, pardon me?
Yeah.
Grandfather was a judge.
Yeah. And I mean, we were concerned, I'm telling you, because when the Gazette was ready, we go to the post office. We have contacted every level of publication, though we were novices. Taught us to do that. He taught me, I can tell, to write in the Meher Gazette about what the children's page, the rules of the road. Look left, look right, look left, cross the road. He had a children's page in the Meher Gazette. He permitted me to write. Like that later on when I was a little more older, I was permitted to write in the Meher Baba journal an apology to Thomas A. Kempis about Baba, Pope. And later on in the curriculum. I mean, unless there is a guidance, unless he knows I am in the right path, he won't entrust me with this job. Because I won't be true to my grandfather if I don't say anything but the truth. No guessing is possible because I have not done it till today. That's how, but every person does so much of Baba love that she emphasizes we are starved. We don't know how our Baba family came together. We are together today, but I've got a big vacuum, many of things I don't know. And where is the chance for me to know about it? Because each is something which we can never dream of, how Baba brought you to his family.
Could we open this up to question and answers so that you can...
No, I will tell you one thing, brother, just for you I have to tell you one thing. See, again I have to quote Brother Iraj. See, there is a question of question and answers. See, there is, yeah, have you read God Speaks? Okay. I am reading this. All that I have got warnings in the sense that these are questions which are put which will be tricky. Because he says the best thing, you ask a question, my understanding is that. Baba says if I say that he will give me a couple of sound kicks. Nobody can understand Baba because I will now quote. There have been people in 1932 when he was in maybe the second visit to the US. When he left after San Francisco, he left the US via LA and he had to go to China or Japan, I don't remember. That was a much publicized event when, he was saying, I'm going to speak on my return from the East. There is always what is called the rumor page, which flows faster than the truth. So everybody is saying, Baba is speaking on the return. When is the return? Where is he going to talk? Who will be the first man to hear him? These are the heightened question. Okay, then he tells me about, what's happened. Baba has said, caution. When he did not speak, people really got stumped. But their anger was revolved because they have raised so much of expectation. Baba is false. He breaks his word. That is the word. He says, Baba said this. When I speak in my language, you won't understand. When I speak in your language, you will understand. At some occasions, I speak in partly my language and partly your language. He has answers to every question, and partly in your language. The speaking in your language you understand. And other words he said, don't put words into my mouth which you will not understand. Do not say that, this may be a quote, but do not say that the master is wrong, but agree that your understanding of the master is wrong. So, if you have a question and answer, most of the thing may not be what answer you expect because I am a novice. I will say my understanding is that. Take it or leave it. It's very dangerous ground. Very dangerous ground for me.
Well, then you'll know how dangerous we are. We ask dangerous questions. If we ask dangerous questions, then you know how dangerous we
He
are.
will try and answer you.
I understand. See, I welcome your questions, but don't be disappointed. To the best of my knowledge, what I know, I will share. I dare not guess. Anything related to Baba, if you ask me to guess tomorrow it will rain, I will do my forecast. Not this way. Yeah.
I would like to hear about the games that Baba played with you when you were a boy.
Yeah, but see, yeah, that was in Bangalore. This is
36.
yeah. See, Baba had mentioned. This is more important than that. Baba had mentioned that his birthday in 1936 was not to be publicly celebrated anywhere. That was his statement. So 1936 he was in Bangalore and Mysore, because I got my first letter in 1936 from Mysore, so I know that. We met him in Bangalore, that also I remember. In Bangalore in 1936, on the day of his birthday, which I'm not sure about what day in February, because it was celebrated on his star birthday. Some days it is the 25th, some days it is earlier also. On that particular day, there was a little friction, which I came to know later after reading, between my mother and my aunt. And Baba, who is the universal knower of everything, past, present and future, happened to stay in grandfather's house from the previous night, whole day till the evening. And my grandfather writes, he never told me, Baba was here to settle family disputes that day, after which there was no bickering in future. That was the day. That was also the day, which is birthday. Baba has said no celebrations public. When Upasni Maharaj came to the trust office on Baba's birthday, and Adi writes, you would have read that, he prayed to Baba photo and performed Aarti. Tell Meherwan I am celebrating his birthday in his absence. So it was not, Baba knew who, one of his perfect masters was on that day at Nagar trust office, when Adi was there, stood before our Baba's photo, prayed, performed Aarti, and said to Adi, tell Meherwan that I am performing it. So he had decided already, let alone he's coming to Bangalore and all that. He said, no birthday public celebration, which was followed everywhere. Incidentally it happened. Now, during the time he came to Bangalore and was staying at, I would say his place at Bangalore, because I got a photograph also of his visit to Bangalore, taken with our whole family when he was there. And on those occasions, there were only three of them present. Chanji was there, Gustaji was there, and Baba was there. I don't know whether Chalba was there or not. That was a different occasion then. And my grandfather was sent on some errand. He was gone on Baba's work. My grandmother, both at Madras and at Bangalore, when Baba stays there, it is our luck to have prasad given to him and then we partake of it. She was cooking for him at Bangalore, and that is how he sent in 1954 at this Vijayawada place when we met Baba, Baba's special prasad of rava, the sweet, in 2 containers to be given to our master when he gives us darshan. I got one of the photographs in the album that shows you the 2 containers with the prasad. Now, that is the side. Now, Baba had the whole world on his shoulders. He is ever tired and ever jolly. But our Chanji is a person who is so dedicated to Baba because he saved Baba, Baba saved Chanji from committing suicide. He was alone in the beach contemplating suicide for a family problem. Tomorrow morning I am deciding, Baba touches, he has not seen Baba for why are you sad? And just he's skipping off. He didn't tell, Baba, you meet me tomorrow, he says. And tomorrow was the second life for him because Baba convinced him that it's not the right way. And he became such a jealous, devoted secretary to Baba. Now, Chaji is constantly saying, it's time, Baba, you are tired, you got headache, and have food. See, Mrs. Ang, he said, I don't know who actually was with Charlie. Go and have food. He said, no, you're tired, you may have headache. I mean, he's so devoted to the point of he will sacrifice anything for Baba. No, but he refused to go. Then what are you going to do? I am going with Iyengar's grandchildren. They are like, you will read in Meher, you will read in Lord Meher, special epithets given to Iyengar's grandchildren, which I beg you to remember, it is not true of my grandfather's heritage. He has been so worried about Baba that we are labeled the little devils or the pests. Troubling Baba when he had his headache, even till today, or even when we were Baba, I was a recluse, or my mother or my sisters will be there. I am always behind them to listen to Baba. I have not been brave enough in my life. Adi has written to it in one of these letters. You are not brave enough to invite Baba. Ask your other family sisters to do it. On my behalf, I will champion your cause as though you have prayed. So, we will not say, Baba, come up. Grandfather had rooms on the upstairs where Baba was staying. So my sister, Vasumati, and myself went up. That was 36, I was 10, and my sister was about 8 or 7. Then, see, those are, if I know today, I know they are esoteric. At that time it was nothing known to us. He said, let us play games. 3 games he played with us. I have read about the games being played. There is also another mention of what is, it looks rather silly for me to say something. There has been a mention that Baba played marbles with his grandchildren. Not once, not ever. There were different games. He has played marbles with so many kids, I know, we have read. The marble never came into the picture in our lives with Baba. That is his decision. What he played was, it will be a small place. Upstairs had 3 rooms, a small frontage, 2 adjacent rooms. In one room, there were 2 cabinets, and that is where Baba was staying. So he said, come on there. My sister, Baba holds one hand. Pam and Danny, I think I sent you a list of that incident also long ago. But Baba's works, it is in, I have done it long ago. All things relating to Baba in our life we have shared with Pam and Danny for over the ages. Okay, now I was another hand. Not knowing what, dumb creatures. But not knowing whether we are obeying him or not knowing whether he is having fever, headache, or no. It is Baba's mandate. He refused to go for food, which again made Chaji more jealous, angry, very, very angry. But he never told us till 1941 when he came and wrote by autograph. You are like your grandfather, be capable. You are going to done well. That time he not as to compensate, but to soften the feelings he had. Then we used to walk. Baba says, come and follow. You know Baba's stride. He goes so fast you can't catch up with him. He goes up Seclusion Hill, we are halfway. And that is what, even when he was suffering, then we walk. As we walk, he suddenly stops. We are thrown forward. We are just catching his hand. He stops and we are moved. Right? what scientific fact writer. So he laughs. We are dumb again. After a time, he just see this way. He starts suddenly, we are thrown backward. I mean, that is the law of physics. But what do we know that? So that is one game. I don't know whether he has, I mean, I have not read that. I know he has played some other games, I'll tell you it is in books. The other game was very, very fun. The room is small. There are 2 small cupboards. Except for that, it is vacant. We are going. That is where we are going. He said, it is time for hide and seek. Really played hide and seek in our life this way. He catches hold of our hands and said, be here. I will hide. Don't peek. I mean, if I are true to Baba, I would not have peeked. I would not. But he said, don't peek for fun. I mean, how do you understand gestures? No. He hides behind one of those almirahs, whatever, we can't see. I stayed, but my sister went. He's going around and around, she can't see my master. She comes and says, I can't see him. I'm scared. I mean, we don't go to I see whether it is what, I don't know what. Then only later on, Adi and it is what is called esoteric. What he meant at that time, nobody knows. We are confused and blinded. And, no, so I come and then what he does, he claps and then calls us there. When he claps, lot of us, we go to where he is there. I know there is only a couple of almirahs, that's all. I can't leave alone that too. The third one he has played with other Mandali children, which is the heading is called the middle finger. Takes one hand like that, cups the 5 fingers together, holds the other hand covering it. You fix on the middle finger. The middle finger is this. Yeah, he does it. He does it in Baba's way. Most cases we land on the wrong finger. Okay, but how he teases us this way. Sometimes we land on the right finger. Like when he wriggles his hand, we land on the wrong finger. We never, and that means he's matchless. This is his type of fun. In all these 3 games he played, he was there for about overnight for about, I'm not sure, I can't guess, many occasions. This happened not on his birthday event, but on another occasion when he stayed overnight. And later, Chanji tells my grandfather, they have teased him like hell. And no doubt, my grandfather won't talk much. He's gruff. I mean, the best thing we have to be like dust is when he keeps silent. He won't blame us. But I think he knows we are his grandchildren and we are following Baba. I mean, till I read in Lord Mayor, I mean, we don't know. The public